Well, hello there, and welcome to Geek Variants. If you love our content, be sure to check out that watermark. Without further ado, Obi-Wan finale review. Let's get into it. Welcome to another exciting Geek Variants video for the Obi-Wan finale. I, for one, have a lot of things to say about this episode, as a diehard Star Wars fan, I got a lot of thoughts. But my opinion doesn't really matter. Let's talk to the new Star Wars fan. Give me your thoughts on this finale. Are you going to love my baby? Or are you taking her out back and shooting her?
Let's be honest, with everything that was leading up to this, honestly, it was predictable as hell. Like, we knew everything that was coming, everything that was happening. Like, there was no surprises in store at all. So it was more or less just, I think this episode was more or less a last little chunk of fan service for the series. Like, that's literally all it was. So
I mean, we came to the end of the series, and I got a couple complaints, but let's get started with those first before I redeem my love of Star Wars. Reva, such a trash character. You were redeemed? Are you kidding me? You were billed to be this badass, fearless inquisitor, and you're a punk. You literally gave up because you were redeemed. Nothing happened to cause you to be redeemed. Nothing. You just chose not to kill a kid. Which, I mean, I'm pretty sure you killed dozens, if not hundreds. So, I mean, redeemed is a questionable term at best. Terrible character. The Vader duel, I enjoyed that because we didn't get to see this. When they showed the original trailer, Vader was missing the scar that he originally has in Return of the Jedi when you see his helmet finally come off. It was nice that they put that there and showed that Ben, once again, out there scarring people like a nobody's business. He puts in work. It looked like the Grand Inquisitor was pretty dull. Didn't really get a lot from that character. Aunt Beru was about that action. Freaking storing guns and shit around the house, so that's fantastic. But it was predictable, and I think it was predictable in the sense that, in a way, they were boxed in what they could write, just because of the time period that they chose to fixate upon. They could have done more. I still enjoyed it, but you probably could have predicted a lot of what happened, and they left it very vague to what could happen in the future. And then Liam Neeson. I mean, I'm happy he showed up, but man, did I want more.
All right. So I think that they definitely were, boxed in. You kind of had no way to kind of fight out of that in terms of how the storyline progresses, since you're now working from a reverse standpoint going forward.
Because the characters can't die, so it's anticlimactic.
Yeah. So it's like, it's nice that they, with the whole fight scene, it wasn't really a, I lose, you lose type deal. It was literally like, I'm still standing and you just left the fight. So I like that it was still a standoff. It wasn't a end, and you showed that I still got to come get you, which carries over to the original trilogy. So when you see it, so it's like that, all that makes sense. Definitely needed to happen to set that stage. Like you saying about Reva, yeah, I had such high hopes for her in the beginning, so that she turned out to be just crap. I'm done with her. Like, I don't want to see her in the rest of the freaking Star Wars. I don't like.
I'm done with the character as well. So, and once this video is done, I'm probably going to take on a very aggressive project for Geek Variants, especially pertaining to characters of color and the misrepresentation that Star Wars has done a horrendous job of doing with all of their new content, other than maybe 2 or 3 characters. There's some things that need to be touched up. I don't know why, but they just can't get a character of color correct. No matter how hard they try, they end up getting knee-jerk reactions and failing and giving you a flat character that is not the fault of the actor or actress doing the portrayal. Bad writing will doom you in every time. I mean, Star Wars took Natalie freaking Portman, which, Black Swan and all that, and gave her one of her most bland performances ever in Revenge of the Sith. So, bad writing will kill good characters. And I feel like they did a about average at best writing in this one. And you can attest in the group chat, I was hyped for today. Hyped. So to end up here, underwhelming would be my review at the very end. It was underwhelming at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think they could have set up for more. I expected to see a little bit more out of Qui-Gon. A little bit more conversation. He just kind of, I showed up here. All right, cool, appreciate it. Vader, we can get so much more out of Vader from this point going forward if they want.
And like Vader's hunt of the Jedi in the comics,
yeah,
epic as hell. So and they still have 10 years of just
stuff. We can get all that. Like, we could have Vader. Like, I think that would be a smart play for them to do Vader if Hayden Christensen is willing to continue playing the roles with that. Like, just have him. You could do a short series that can span over however long they want.
I think 8 episodes would be a nice box. And I think 6 episodes, no matter which series Disney's attempted, 6 it just feels rushed. I feel like 7 or 8 is like a nice, just giving that another 40 minutes runtime and give me the meat and potatoes. Give me a good story. Don't rush things because you were so slow with the first couple episodes. Like the episode 1 was the longest episode of the series, and it was great. And then you just started just chopping things up, and I don't know if it was because Disney wanted to compete with Disney because Ms. Marvel's out as well. But
yeah, I mean, they know that they got a strong property, so they could play it however they want. When it comes down to it, I think that 8 episodes is good. I mean, you look at any other series that kind of runs and stuff. 8 to 10 episodes is like a happy place. 6 has always seemed kind of short because you can remember they came out the gate with WandaVision at 8 or 9.
10.
Right there, like it was there. So when you started coming in and you're doing the short ones and stuff, Falcon Winter Soldier stuff, trying to set stuff up, it's like you're giving me a little bit, but I feel like there's more there that you can give me. So, and I'm not trying to be, greedy at this point, but you have a very hungry fan base with
you've created Marvel
or Star Wars or Disney, period. Like, you have a very hungry fan base. So it's like you need to feed them enough to make sure they're satisfied so they can come back later and be like, okay, I'm ready to eat again, and you got more content for them.
Because you created this beast. You created these expectations. You said, and now we're out here hungry. We're like,
you said the monster. Like, we know that what we expect, especially from anything, Marvel, Star Wars, we expect, end scenes and stuff. We expect stuff to lead hype and, let us build up. Again, this was the finale of Kenobi. Is it a series finale? Is it a season finale? Are we getting more? Has it been greenlit? We don't know. Like, I knew about Loki going into a second season before Loki even ended.
Because the fans were there, the demand was there, there was claims for it, they had good open interpretation for writing. So this, we'll see. I'll have a preview video for Andor coming up. I'll be covering characters of color in Star Wars and how they're poorly written at this point in time with the new Disney regime. And I'm probably going to do another Vader follow video. I already made one. Check out the playlist for Star Wars about Vader. But there's a lot of stuff here, a lot of meat and potatoes that we can really get into of like almost red stringing a new way of how they can go about this.
Well, we talked about Vader, so I got a question. You think, I mean, I know Obi-Wan eventually ends up back, old and gray on the planet, but does he go running around for a little bit?
Now, Obi-Wan stays on Tatooine in the comics originally, but he never left the planet in the comics. Okay. So that's been retconned. So it's like there's room for interpretation. Okay. I don't think they'll meet again, but Vader still has
I don't think
a dozen or so very capable Jedi, some even who attained the rank of Jedi Master or were on the council left to go hunt down. So I was like, Star Killer would be a fantastic play. Please give it to me, Disney. But you'll have to check out the video.
A movie. Okay. Star Killer deserves a movie.
Star Killer deserves a 10 episodes like series.
Like I really enjoyed The Force Unleashed, like in its entirety. So, and again, you know more about Star Killer from more media and stuff than I do. I know about just the base, but I definitely think it was fun to explore, and you could really open that up. But yeah, I think they could definitely use Obi-Wan running around different things. He could go back and train freaking the fake Jedi. I forgot his name. I'm not good with he was kind of a throwaway character.
Kumar.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna call him Kumar. We all know who it was.
He could train him and stuff like that, or whatever it takes. People, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Reva under his wing at some point. Not a fan, but
ship Reva off to the Outer Rim, have Vader kill her. I'm done with his character. It's no fault of the actress herself. It is every fault of the writing under delivering. Yeah, this character could be redeemed with a better writer, but again, if you had to give this a rating out of 10, because we're getting sidetracked, where would you rank this series?
I would give the entire series itself. I give the series itself a 7. As far as the episode itself, just because particularly, I give it a 6. It's got cool scenes with that, but some characters fell flat. So
yeah, I would give the series as a whole an 8 because they did a fairly good job considering they're boxed in. But this episode itself was very underwhelming. I'd have to give it like a 5. It was like there's a lot of nostalgia here. He said hello there, and the way I wanted him to deliver it, Qui-Gon was there, so I was right. Called it. If you saw my early videos, called it. But it still wasn't the series that I had anticipated. So that's kind of a little bit of where I have issues with everything. But we'll have further breakdowns. We got Miss Marvel to get to. Another exciting Geek Variants episode. Stay tuned, guys. Be sure to check out all the other amazing content we have. I've been Brent. This is Will. Thank you for checking out Geek Variants. And may the force be with you always.